What's going on, YouTube? What's the deal? What's the deal? Business Never Done podcast. We are in the building. We in the building for sure. So, man, we are open at Lit Factory right now. Man, I am on my lunch break. I am giving you guys my time because that's what I decided to do is to get my YouTube show up, man. So here we are. So, is the is the cannabis industry profitable? That's the question of the day. That's the topic of the show. Is is the cannabis industry profitable? And I would say yes, it is. I would say yes, it is in Oklahoma. I would say that. And if you know people in Oklahoma, then I would say it is. Elsewhere, I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is elsewhere because as I'm looking, okay, so the last show that we had, man, the last live stream, man, I was talking to engineering cannabis, man, I had to think. He was opening up my eyes, man, to a lot of stuff that I need to look into inside the industry, not just the dispensary part. I need to learn the dispensary part, of course, because I'm new, but there is a lot of stuff that I can be doing outside of the dispensary, like making products and stuff. So he definitely opened up my eyes to where I need to be looking elsewhere inside the same industry though. And is it profitable? Yes, if you know people, if you get the right product. Because nobody's gonna come if you don't have the right product. That's what I'm learning. Yeah, that's what I'm learning, man. I'm learning that if you don't have what the customers want, then they'll just go to the competition. And I showed you guys, man, on the vlogs, man, that there's a lot of competition, man, on that street. So if you don't know what to get for the actual customer, then yeah, man, it's not going to be profitable. There is a lot of dispensaries, man, that's shutting down. Man, there's a lot of dispensaries, man, that's open, but there's a lot of dispensaries, man, that's shutting down too. Cause they come in the game, cause they come in the game and then they think just money, 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 instead of just working it first and seeing your niche in it. All they thinking is just a profit, 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 and they don't even know what products to get so they can profit. We have been open for 6 months now. Now that we are inside of November, man, the dispensary has been open, man, for 6 months, and it's been profiting. But we still got taxes and bills, and we still got to get more product, man, on the shelf. So we might have a good week or a good month, but that don't mean that that don't mean that we profit a lot. That just means that we made a lot in customer sales. But the product, man, we still got to have the product on the shelf. So we got to get more of it. And good product, so it might be way more expensive than what we bought last time. You just never know. Yeah, man, you just never know. So it is profitable if you come in knowing what you knowing what you're doing and knowing the growers. There's a lot of growers. Just because they grow don't mean that they growing good product and that the customer want, you know? So okay, let's share screen. Okay. Okay. So if you see right here, it says according According to the Oklahoma Tax Commission, the state is tell more than 831 million total, man, in revenue in 2020. The Oklahoma dispensaries sales of 385. So that right there is telling you that it is profitable if you know what you're doing. Because Oklahoma has the most medical card people, man, inside one state. I think we got over 100,000, they say, but it's going crazy, you know. So, man, it is profitable because everybody got a card here, okay? But if we was to go to Ohio, right? Okay, hold on. Let me share the screen of Ohio. Okay, so Ohio, the application fee is 5,000. You see that right there. Okay, so that's 5,000, and that's not a guarantee that you're gonna get that back. I think it's non-refundable. Yeah, we might look that up. Okay, so the license is 80,000. $80,000 just for the license, right? I think the application here was maybe 300 to 100. I'm not for sure. I forgot, but the licensing most definitely was not, man, that 80,000. And then it costs another 80,000, man, every year. That's an annual, man, renewal of 80,000. So that's 160,000, man, in 2 years, guaranteed that you gotta spend, man, in Ohio. So how is that profitable? It's not, you know. And they got all these rules out there, man, and they just now starting. 5,000, man, that's crazy. License 80,000. So yeah, it's gonna be hard for somebody to start their in a dispensary, man, if they making it hard like that. It's gonna be super hard. Okay, let's check out in Illinois to start a dispensary. Okay, this is Illinois. How to open a marijuana dispensary in Illinois, April 2020. Okay, the licensing is 5,000, non-refundable. Okay, that's non-refundable if they don't draw your name because they have a draw in a pool pit out here, man, in Chicago. 60,000, man, every 2 years. That's the licensing fee for a 2-year license. So every 2 years, man, you're gonna spend that 60,000 with the state of Illinois. It's crazy. So how can that be profitable for a small town, man, for a small town guy like myself? For a very small, man, dispensary. How can that be profitable? It can't be. So that's why I vlogged all the videos because I knew what position I was inside, being inside Oklahoma. All right. Let's do another one. Let's do another state. All right, let's do Colorado. All right. This is the margin of the profit in Colorado. So this is what I pulled up. This is what I was reading about. So In 2018, man, you see where it at. This is 1.2. That should be probably millions or billions. But it's most definitely growing. They're predicted in 2024 to do 1.8 billion in medical inside the cannabis industry. Okay, so in Colorado, it's 7,000 for the application fees. Like, these are ridiculous numbers for somebody that's a small town guy. Like, these are all for the big corporations to just come in and do their thing. But for a small guy who just left working planes and spent all his money on this, I don't see no profit in other states. Like, it wouldn't be. And the licenses is cool, I guess. It's 2,000, but the fees is 5,000. Total of 7,000. So is it profitable? Inside of Oklahoma, yeah. That's why I did it. Because I knew that it was like a ridiculous application fee. I knew it was ridiculous. Let's share again. In Cali. It's ridiculous in Cali. In California, you'll pay 1,000 just to apply. That's just to apply. And if you're approved, then you'll pay from anywhere from 4,000 to 120,000. And the real estate can cost you either from 50,000 to 100,000, and that's annually, as well as a startup cost. Yeah, as well as a startup cost. How can that be profitable? If you got money, yeah, but if you ain't got that much money, I don't see it, because you got to buy the product too. See, that's the thing. You can get the application, but man, you still got to put the product on the shelf once they approve you of opening. Yeah, once they approve you of opening, then you still got to put the flower on the shelf, the edibles on the shelf, the concentrates on the shelf, and then you got to get your money back for that product that you put on the shelf. Okay, so yeah, we did all those. Okay, yeah, I'm back. I don't know if it's pausing up or not, but yeah. How can you how can you profit? There's no way. Man, I appreciate that, Share City. Been killing it on the streams, man, giving some valuable information. Man, let me drop the link. Let me drop the link for engineering cannabis if he want to come in. But yeah, man, how can you make money, man, if this stuff is 100,000? Okay, I'm gonna show you how much. In Oklahoma, man, I knew it was like it was just an opportunity that I had to take because I was already in man indulging inside the flower. I knew my cousins in Cali, they was trying to get one for a long time and they was telling me how much it cost. And they came with this cheap. And I really think that they underestimated themselves. See, this don't really say it. Yeah, that don't really say it, man. But it only costs 2,500. It only costs 2,500, man. Compared to all these other states, man, they just not letting people in. They want all the big companies to come in and do their thing, and they don't want nobody from the underground to come up. They don't want no small people. And then once you do show them that, then you got to present the bank stuff and all this other stuff to so they can see where did this money come from, and did it come from the streets? Oklahoma don't do none of that because it's so cheap. It's like, I mean, if you can come up with 2,500, then yeah. What's good, engineering cannabis?
What's good? So
You
you've seen
good?
those states? Yeah, I'm good. So you've seen those states? You've seen the amount?
It's ridiculous.
That's just you just saw two states. Imagine California.
I
California
showed it,
is.
man. It's like 150,000.
So now the question is, you know, how if brothers want to enter this industry, how and they want to go to other states, what are you going to tell them?
Man, I'm telling them to come to Oklahoma.
But again, Oklahoma, you can't have all the brothers coming to Oklahoma. You can't have every brother coming to Oklahoma.
Okay. Yeah, man, but how they gonna start?
Yeah, that's the question.
I don't know too many brothers, man, that's just sitting on, man, 100,000.
No, the 100,000 is the fees. Remember, they got overhead. You got to pay for your where your dispensary is gonna be. You're gonna pay for marketing. You're gonna pay for all that. You're gonna even pay for people to come see it before. All that has to be designed and placed before you even put the license in it. So 100,000 is just one part. You're gonna have to pay for the remaining part, like 200, 300 grand to get
Right.
all your stuff open. Uh-huh. So tell me, at that point, what are you telling brothers? What are you gonna tell brothers to do?
It's unbelievable, man. Like you can't even tell them. Like, what can you say?
That's what I always tell you. That's what I said. I'm not going into touching the plan at all. I got
Man,
other plans. This is
I've been
why.
thinking a lot.
This is
Just
why.
that last show, man. It's like, man, this is really like the bottom of the industry.
I should. What I told you, I read about all the laws. I read about the licensing. I saw the amount of money basically pumped into it, and the risk. You're taking a lot of risk because your money is not coming back to you. And remember, tax is going to be killing you too. So you get hit by federal government, state government. You get hit by black market. You get hit by everybody. Then, then the question comes in: is where the profit coming from?
Yeah, that's what I
Oklahoma.
was showing the numbers. Like, if you spending all that money, how are you profiting?
Okay. Oklahoma, you Googled Oklahoma. The Oklahoma, I looked at Oklahoma. If I was in Oklahoma now, I would have been opening like 3 dispensaries right now. I'll be playing with dispensaries like I was like, okay, I'm opening online businesses. I'll be opening dispensaries like that. But Oklahoma is different. Oklahoma is unique. Oklahoma want you to open business.
Right.
Colorado, California, the rest, they don't care about you. They care about
No, they
revenue.
don't.
They care about the revenue.
Yeah, Billy
Chicago,
Mack said it's man, it won't be profitable, man, for long, man. So enjoy it, he said.
Chicago, all that, they don't care about you. So I
Nah,
always
man,
tell,
that Chicago is ridiculous.
man, Chicago is stupid, stupid. Chicago is stupid, stupid. I mean, I think they only have 6 or 7 spots open. So Chicago is stupid, stupid. And the
Yeah, man,
money
like
you're
you
gonna pay, the money you're gonna pay is like, you're not guaranteed you're gonna be in a lottery. It's a lottery system. So they're gonna draw a lottery. They're gonna pick your name and the requirements.
exactly, man. I got to put up on the screen for him right now. The 5,000 application, and that's non-refundable. It said.
Not in front of them. Then you gotta go pay licensing. Once you get there, you gotta pay licensing. Then you gotta do man, it's stupid. You gotta do marketing, you gotta do security, you gotta do dude. Yeah, I laugh every day when when someone says I'm gonna open a dispensary. I'm like, okay. I'll be like, okay. Good luck with that.
How
I
much do you
always
think the first month bills just alone just paying out
imagine
everybody is?
you're gonna be paying. You pay. Then you remember after that you're gonna pay taxes. So you're not gonna account for the taxes too. So you pay everybody. Everybody get their cut.
Right.
Everybody get their cut. The government come get their cut too. And then you say, okay, now can I get my cut? You're like, shit, there's nothing left. Ain't nothing left in the pot. They're like, okay, do I increase my prices? You increase your prices. Let's say you say $50 for a small ounce of maybe a good stuff. Black
Yeah.
market gonna be like, fuck it, we're gonna put you out of business. We're gonna sell it $10. You already out of business. Black market already killing you.
Exactly. Yeah, Billy said once it's recreational, then it's gonna be more in fees and taxes, man. Is that true?
Yeah, the medical is because the medical side, it's they normally because it's again medical they're going to try, but with recreational the taxes and fees are stupid, stupid,
Oh my
stupid,
God.
stupid. You play with a
Are you serious?
stupid. When I say the taxes are stupid, stupid, and
Oh,
stupid, stupid. That's why I told you. That's why I said if you go to the industry, I'll go in with the skill I have. I'm going as a tech guy and walking as a tech. I'm not a cannabis tech guy. I'm a tech guy who
right.
services the cannabis industry. I'm not. I don't do. My name will never. This engineering cannabis. It's just for YouTube. My
Right.
business ain't nothing with cannabis. Cannabis. No, my business is I do this. I
Right.
do tech. And I do tech for agriculture. I don't do tech for. I don't do tech for cannabis specifically. I do tech for agriculture. Accounting, I do accounting for agriculture. Oh, I sell this. I don't do all that cannabis. So
Right.
they gonna
Because
tax
of
you
the
stupid, stupid.
taxes, huh?
Taxes gonna be stupid. Regulations stupid. Man, do you know how much regulations y'all got to face? I read the regulations every day, and I don't even own a dispensary. And I read the regulations. I'm like, hell no. This ain't. I look at. If you see the regulations, I'm like, what? Why? No, it's no packaging. You got to do with packaging. You got to do with security. You got to do with banking. After all that, then you got to deal with you. That's just the first part. Then you start dealing with the people in that comes in the dispensary. You got to deal with your employees. because dispensary owners are not just dealing with employees like any other people, like
Nah, man,
employees,
we dealing
stores.
with salesmen all day too.
After that, you're going to deal with the state. You're going to deal with federal. You're going to deal with regulations. A dispensary owner is more than just a business owner. He's dealing with lots more than an ordinary business owner. The regulations and taxes alone is more than a business owner for a dispensary. So when you're going in this, go in knowing what you're going to face. That again, it's profitable. Everybody's bringing the profit, but the profit comes from people who already invested hugely into it. So if I was a white guy going in this industry, I'll make sure I got like 700,000, 800,000 pouring into it, so I know my profit's gonna be like after 2 3 years, I get my profit and more back. But if you're a black business owner trying to start up and say that I'm gonna start making money immediately, I'm gonna tell you the dispensary business is not for you.
Right. But
It's if you want to make it start, I'm gonna start. That's one of the things I heard when you go to California or that dispensary. I'm gonna start making thousands of dollars. I'm like, okay, okay, keep making that, but just know what you're going into. So we
so is
just
that why, like at the cookie store, man, in California,
oh
man,
shit,
like an eighth is like
yeah,
damn near, man,
yeah,
like
it's expensive.
yeah, man, it's like $80 damn near.
Then that's the problem. Then if I go in, I say it's $80. I'm like, but my guy up the road gonna selling me for $20. So why am I spending $80 here?
Right.
Why am I gonna use my whole lot of money and get the same kick with the one I'm gonna spend $80? I can spend $20 down the road with Rufus. I'm going down to Rufus. Rufus like a good guy. I'm going to go down and spend $20 with Rufus. But that's the truth. I go spend $30 Rufus to get me my high. I'm not spending $80 in the dispensary. What? Because you got some cheers and a pretty girl in the counter. I'm gonna spend $80 for that. No, I'm good. I'm going down Rufus. So
Right. Yeah,
that's
Billy said, man, it'll be smart to link up with franchises now.
that's what I'm saying. Remember what I asked you about franchise? This, with franchising, yes, franchising is good, and people are doing it. Well, what I've learned in this industry is people open dispensaries because at the end of the day, they're selling those dispensaries when it becomes federally legal. At that point, you have big companies coming in and saying, "Okay, I'm going to buy this dispensary from you," and you're like, "Man, I'm tired of dealing with dispensaries. Fuck it, I'm going to sell it," and you sell it. That's what most people are doing right now, preparing for that sale, that huge sale of their dispensaries, that franchise, so they can sell it for a huge profit. And that's
Right.
what dispensaries are doing currently. It's not looking for the long term is to sell it off. So that's what they're doing. And again, it's profitable, yes, but again, it comes with a lot of headaches in the beginning, a lot of headaches.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I'm always like, bump all this. I'm not touching the plate. I'm doing what I do best. But again, it's stupid, stupid expensive. The taxes are stupid. Nobody cares about you in the cannabis industry. Yes, you're black and you've been suffering the cannabis. They've been putting people in jail. They don't give a shit. Their profits
Right.
coming. If you look at Colorado, the profits huge profit margin. Look at Detroit about to start up, huge profit margins. They don't give a shit about black folk. 2%, only 2%, 2% of black people are in the cannabis industry, and yet we were persecuted the
Yeah,
most.
man, but look at the prices though.
Again, I have solutions. The black market and all that is good, but I got a lot of solutions to solve all these problems. Again, if right now if it becomes federally legal, regulations will now lessen, and then prices. The reason prices are high is because of the taxation, regulations, and banking. If all that has been solved, currently there's a legislation in the Senate called the Banking Act that's basically looking into federally legalizing cannabis as a not a Schedule 1, a Schedule 2, 3, and thereby banks can now accept the monetary money from cannabis businesses and also give loans to cannabis people who want to start their own cannabis business. So there are laws right now, but if those laws are then basically tackled, all that extra revenue and all that goes back into the cannabis business. All the extra taxes, all the extra revenue will all go back into the cannabis instead of now. So now we can tackle the black market and have our prices more like the black market than other ones. And then we can also tackle the black market with some tech too. So there are ways you can tackle it. But again, it has to start with legislation. And again, we're not involved in legislation. We're not involved in the profit margin. Currently, all we're doing is we're the product right now. That's it. They sell us they just sell us the whole cannabis and we smoke and we're good. But we're not in the money making of the cannabis industry itself, and that's sad.
Yeah, it is, man. I got the Ohio pulled up right here. The application fee is $5,000.
That's application fee.
Right,
That's just
right. That's
just
just the
taking
application.
just taking the application. That's not a license.
Right.
Just taking the application and signing and just $5,000.
Then the
And
licensing fee is $80,000.
and that's yearly. So every
Right.
year you can cover 80,000.
How can you profit? And if you know, if you got to pay that 80,000,
And 80,000, that's
60 days.
That's just the license, excluding the taxes. The federal gonna hit you with taxes. State gonna hit you with taxes. So that's excluding taxes. Then you got to do with all the overhead expenses, employees. You're going to deal with product. You're going to deal with storage. How you going to store it? You're going to deal with your overhead, lights, water. Man, at the end of the day, you're like, what's going on?
What's going on?
So, don't get me wrong. I'm always an advocate. I love the cannabis industry, but I'm the advocate that is never touch it. Don't touch it. Leave it be. Be the person who services it. Don't never touch it.
You so all your stuff is gonna be behind tech.
Behind tech and behind selling the product. Apart from that, no, I'm not touching that shit. Dude, do you know how many raids there've been? FBI raids, DOJ raids on cannabis dispensaries?
Oh yeah, man, it's a raid every
You know how many times people don't bust in doors like boom? What? Lock this place up, shut it down. Profit margin. You don't shut your shit down for a month, your profit margin don't fall down. What's gonna happen? What? No. Above all that, raids and then you get shut down because you forgot to put basically a track and trace system. You forgot to put maybe on Friday you forgot to put your track and trace system or something like that. And they shut you down for a month. Your profit margin for a month is gone. What? No, I'm not doing all that. I saw the laws. I read the laws. I'm like, nah, these laws are not favorable for me. These laws will ruin you when, at the end of the day, no. So I said, no. Oklahoma is good. Oklahoma got you. But the rest of the state, no, they don't know. They really don't like you that much. So,
man, and that's why I did it, man, because I knew that it was like, man, 2,500. That ain't even. I mean, that's unheard of.
2,500. I told you, if I was in Oklahoma, I would open like 3 dispensaries. I would open a dispensary like online stores, like fuck, open this here, open here, open here. I open like 3. I opened 3 dispensaries. But I looked at California. I'm like, look at DC. I'm like, I'm up all this. No.
See, I'm not paying. Full of DC.
DC stupid. There was a point they even banned all the gummy bears with THC and all that. They banned it from DC at one point. You couldn't sell gummy bears in DC with THC in it and all that. I'm like, what the hell?
Because of the black market was taking over.
No, because again, they were linking it with children use taking it, and they were basically mistaking it for candy. Children So they said it was basically advertising to children and all that stuff. But at that point, I'm like, boys, you have too many regulations going on in this industry. Too much that the black market is taking over. So I said, nah. And the funny part is the people that are selling the bottles, the vape pen, the all that, are making money. They're
Are they?
killing it. They're making the money because again, the people who sell the bonds, all that, they call it a craftsman shop. They don't call it a cannabis store. No, they call it craftsman shop or something like that. And they're making a killing. People who service the industry are making so much money from the industry that it's it's funny that people with the dispensary, people who make products, for instance, people who make products, they basically make more money than people who actually sell the product itself.
Hmm.
Processing, people who process it make money than that. The people who suffer, they cultivate people who sell it up front and people who cultivate it. If you're a farmer in cannabis, it's a risk. That's a big risk too. Cultivation, whew, that's a risk itself on its own. Another headache on its own. So no,
Cause you got to know what you're doing, huh?
if if you don't if they test your crop and it's above 0. If you say your crop is not THC or it's CBD and it's above a certain threshold, your crop they probably seize all your crop and basically go away with the crop. Your crop has to be a certain THC threshold, a certain basically to be considered a high THC, and it has to be labeled, it has to be guarded, it has to be stored properly, it has to be tracked properly, it has to be traced properly. So every crop has to be tracked, traced, stored. Man, that's a huge process, man. Then you have to deliver it, and you know you can go out of state. This has to be in state. So delivery, then you
Right.
have to go. So man, no, and it has to be a good quality. So if it's not good quality, then what? And if the black market is selling more than you're selling, but your crop is not selling, so your crop is just going to be stored somewhere, then what
Right.
happens? There's a cycle with this, and it's stupid. So that's why I said I will never touch this. I will never touch it. I will never do anything. I will be the guy who's going to sell the show. I'll be the guy who'll tell you everything about the plant, tell you everything and everything you need. I provide you with the security. I provide you with the best tech with it.
So
I
you
provide
read
you.
everybody's laws.
I even read Canadian laws now. I went to Canada and started reading the laws in Canada laws, the federal laws, because I know if America starts adopting laws, they're gonna say, okay, who has a federal law in there? And it's in our backyard, Canada. So let's see how Canada does this and see if we can adopt it. So I'm just continue reading Canada laws, reading how many licenses they got, how they divide their licenses, how they're doing. I'm reading everything. So I read all the laws. I'm like, man, this is stupid. I'm not doing it.
Who got the
Uh,
worst laws to you so far?
California sucks. California.
Mm.
California, at the beginning, they were kind of good, but now California is just,
Everybody moving, man, from California.
California is stupid.
Yeah, man, they getting out of there.
California, stupid laws. DC, I'll say DC next, then there are other states, but right now, California to me is the stupid laws, man. Taxes are crazy. It's just, nah. Well, hey, again, if you want to go in the cannabis industry, feel free, but don't touch the plant. That's my own advice, and I will keep telling you this. Don't touch the plant. Take the skills you got. If you're a chef, learn how to use cannabis and cook with it. You're gonna make a killing. If you do HVAC, shit, go to Learn how to do HVAC well. Cultivation sites in this HVAC, they're gonna need you. Build HVAC for them.
Yeah,
Anything you
that's
can
true.
do, shit. What? I know a lot of HVAC companies making a killing in cannabis. They do HVAC for a whole cultivation site. They do water systems, pumping. What?
Right. That's
I
true.
know. I know a lot of companies making killing with a lot of with services. So it's up to you. I would tell delivery. If you want to start a delivery, I know delivery companies. I think in Chicago there's
See,
in
they haven't
Chicago.
opened it up yet for us.
In Chicago, I think Colorado and California, some part delivery system. They're making killing. Making money. So it
Yeah, as soon as
depends.
I open up, yeah, man, we off for it.
What? Delivery, because delivery is own license, you know, right? The delivery system, it's its own license.
Yeah, I got my transport license.
You have to get a transportation license. Imagine Oklahoma. See, you can say you get two licenses. In California, you can't hold a dispensary license and a transportation license. They're too
Oh, you
expensive.
can't?
You can't. It's too expensive. What?
Right.
But see, you here in Oklahoma, you can hold transportation. You'll start your quick transportation business for cannabis and start. And be doing the transportation for almost everybody in your block that holds cannabis dispensary.
Right.
That's another side. That's another side business already. See,
Exactly.
this is the Oklahoma. That's what Oklahoma is. But the rest of the state, they don't care about you. What?
At all.
Transportation license. You got a research license. You got processing license. What? No cultivation license. And the cultivation license is not big. It's based on square footage. So each time you get bigger, you get a bigger license.
Right.
What? No, I said I'm not doing all that. No, I'm good. I said I read all the laws. I'm like, this ain't fair for anybody. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm like, nah, this isn't right.
Right.
This isn't right for black folks. We can't do this.
Nah,
If
man.
you see, if you
And
look at
they know
most
that. And then we got to show proof
proof
of
of
where
where
it
your
came
income is,
from.
or else again, the Fed's gonna bust in your door and ask you questions.
Right.
So where are you gonna get 500,000 and no bank is giving loans to cannabis businesses? So how are you gonna get it? You're gonna have people who invest equity into your business and bring that money, and then you tell them this is where the money is coming from. Who in the black community is gonna say, I got 10 people bringing in 100 grand or 50 grand a piece? See, it's not fair.
Man, they gonna audit each one. Yeah, but they gonna put the people in the business, man.
Okay. See how unfair it is. But
See,
in other states,
2,500, man.
that's why I told you. If I was in
All you
Oklahoma,
gotta really show is this, man, a work history.
if I was in Oklahoma, man, dude, I told you I would open dispensary like online businesses, just one, two here, three here. We're playing experiments. Like, let's see which one gonna fail first.
Yeah, man, but it's so much, it's so many, and so much competition, man, that you
But
can't
that,
really take
see
that
that,
risk like that.
so this is the problem with Oklahoma. Now the problem with Oklahoma, what I'm seeing is, it's gonna be flooded with people coming in.
It already
That
is.
it's gonna be flooded so much that now the profit margin is gonna be so small. And now the goal now is either they're going to have to raise the licensing price like other states or do something where now it's going to be restrictive.
Yeah,
And
man, but I
as
don't
a,
even think they care, man, because this is the first time that they're making all this money like this.
They're the first time, but again, with huge profit margins like this, and now everybody's getting licensing, problems going to happen. A lot of crime, a lot of stuff. You have imagine a whole in one whole block, you have like 6 dispensaries. Man, you begging for someone to come do something. So again, this to me, I see that as a profit. If I see 6 dispensaries, I see people who need security. I'm gonna open me a fuck it. I know you all need security. They're gonna be busting down here. I'm gonna provide you with security. I see profit. I don't see any negative in there. But at the end of the day, the industry becomes so saturated that the profit margins become small for each
Right.
dispensary. And now the federal taxes and state taxes will still heat you up. So is there going to be much profit to be made at the end of the day? When now you have so much competition and still have so much regulations and taxes still heating you up. That's
Right.
where the problem comes in.
Right.
That's where
And
the
that's why I
problem comes.
wanted this show, because just because we have a dispensary, man, is it profitable? But it is because we know people, like you got to
Yeah.
know people in this industry too. Like you can't
Oh,
just open up a dispensary and put a
that,
sign out and think people are going to just pull up on you because they
that's why
not.
I said this industry is not. It's it's not only it's who you know in this industry. It's the connections you make in the industry.
Right.
The industry, it's not again. If you think you're just gonna start up and just say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna start up my own processing and all that shit," there's a lot of problems you're gonna face. A lot. Again, it's who you know. Do you know your state legislator? Do you know your state congressman? Do you know all these people who make the laws? So that you can call them up and say, "Hey, man, this laws you're making, I don't see how it's gonna benefit me." Do you know the people, the other dispensary owners around you, so you can say, look, we're gonna rally up and say, hey, we need to rally up and say, this laws it's not favoring us.
See, they rallied up and did that, man, and they suing the state of Oklahoma
See,
because they trying to
so
change the rules, man, in the middle of operation.
this is what I'm going to predict in Oklahoma. What's going to happen? The profit margins are going to start growing lower. The fair, everybody's going to start protesting. Now they're going to increase. They're going to increase the licensing fee and everything. Now it's going to get a smaller percentage of people trying to get into dispensary. Because right now, and now with that small profit margin, now it then becomes a huge profit margin again. But I promise you, at one point, the licensing fee and everything in Oklahoma will go up. It has to go up. It's not gonna. It will have to go up.
Yeah, that's the
Because
same thing
again,
I was thinking too. Because I mean, it's really too good to be true.
when I read it, I'm like, man, I'm about to pack my bags and go open 3 dispensaries real quick. But I told myself I'm not doing dispensaries ever. If I was the kind of guy, I'd have opened 3 dispensaries and just sat down there like,
Oh, Canada
shit.
is pretty cheap too.
No, Canada is not cheap. Canada got its own problems. Between federal, no, it's not cheap. And you got to jump a lot of hoops just to get a license.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, nah. It's even the delivery system. The last time I read about the delivery system, it wasn't privatized. The delivery system was done by the government, and they've not even done it well. So it's stupid right now. I've been looking at seeing how they're going to do the trucking industry, what laws they're going to pass in terms of cannabis in the trucking industry in Canada, and see how that relates to when it becomes federally legal in the U.S. So I'm just looking at everything, trying to predict, okay, what's going to happen. I'm trying to see, okay, I'm looking at this going to be more profit. Let me see if I can jump into this, do something real quick, and see how I can basically make something happen in an arena. But I'm always going to stick to tech and my product. But again, the goal of me in the cannabis industry is not to touch the plant, but to be way, way away from the plant. But you
Man.
got this, man. No, you got this. Oklahoma is a good state, but again, You're dealing with cannabis by state laws. And state by state, they change laws. And state, today, your state legislature might change and say, okay, he wants to be more strict on the cannabis
Right.
point. So again,
Just to
that's
appease a
what.
certain crowd.
So see, that's why I'm not willing to be invested in direct touching the plant because you got to invest in the politics of the plant. The politics basically converts to your profit margin. You have to be directly involved in the politics of the plant if you're doing a dispensary. So
Right.
I'm not doing politics with nobody. Nah. Nah. I'm not going to 24/7. I got to call my congressman to tell him, look, packaging this. What kind of laws are you doing? I ain't got that time.
Yeah, man. But what year did you set it up? Like, man, I'm gonna set it up in this tech way instead of going to just
When I
all the
first
way
started,
into this
when
industry.
I when I first started coming in 4 years ago, when I started looking at the cannabis industry, I was looking at Colorado and California. I was like, okay, can I go into processing? Because I was like, I know how to process the plant. I know how to do this. Do I go into cultivation? When I started looking at the laws, I'm reading laws. I'm like, this isn't for me, man. I ain't got that kind of cash to be throwing down like that. No.
Right. Yeah, yeah, man. But how did you know to do it in a tech way though?
I'm in tech. That's the problem. I always tell people start with what you know.
Right.
My background is tech. I'm a data scientist. I'm an engineer. My background is tech. So I said, okay, since I'm not going to go through this way where they're going to kill me and take my money and laws is going to be stupid. I know tech. I know how to design this. I know how to automate. I know how to do this. Let me see what's going to happen in tech. Then I started looking. I said, man, I can kill it in tech. I can do some damage with this stuff. So again, I said, okay, how can I put my foot in the land? So let me start a YouTube channel. Because again, 2% of black people are in the industry. You're gonna need some connections. You need your name out there. So let me put my name out there and know I'm in tech, I'm in product and all that, and just put my name out there. And that's what I've been trying to do for the past 2, 3 years, 4 years, and doing other things and designing tech for them and everybody. So again,
have you heard of that guy, man in Dallas that he came out man with his own POS system? He's from
yeah,
Tulsa. He's a
yeah,
black
I
guy.
said, yeah. They did his own POS. Yeah, but yeah, see something like that. So that's what I'm saying. There are ways you can get an industry where people will see your expertise rather than going in and going in. I just looked at what I'm good at. That's all I did. I said, what am I good at? That's why anybody says I want to go into the cannabis industry, I said, man, the cannabis industry is waiting for everybody. But before you go into it, ask yourself, what are you good at? Are you good at cooking? Shit. Start making cannabis meals. Steak with a little bit of cannabis in there. When you eat it, I'm like, that tastes good steak. And the weed is making it even taste better.
Right.
Drink good wine. What if you like wines and all that? What good wine goes with a good cannabis smoke? Or if anything you want to do, beverages, cookies, anything you want to do. If you're a baker, if you want to bake, fine. I want to bake a cake. I'll make you cannabis cake. Okay. Does that cannabis make the taste of it better? Okay, good. Make you cannabis. Or I've seen people who throw parties for cannabis, who's hotels, a lot of stuff you can do with cannabis. It's its
You
own
don't have to
whole
have all the
industry.
regulations behind you.
You don't have to have all the regulations behind it. That's the thing. You don't have to have all the taxes and all the headaches behind it. I figured that I'd rather do that and make my money that way. Okay, let me say this. Alcohol was like cannabis in the 1900s when the prohibition of alcohol. The people who make the money right now, the Smirnoffs, all that people who are making the money till today, they started the same time when they made alcohol legal and they built a brand. The people who made the money right are not the cultivation, people who grew the crops for alcohol, or they're not the people who made the money are people who built a brand. And that brand has lasted till today. If you see all the famous alcohol in the alcohol, you can drink all the alcohol, famous alcohol. Those alcohol has been since 19 something. They've been here since prohibition. They started and they built a brand. The people who make the money are not people who grow or do it. The people who make the money are people who create a brand around it and make that brand last.
Exactly.
So so that's the intent is to create a brand that lasts. It's not to create not to cultivate people who grew the corn or other people. They didn't make the money for alcohol. It's the people who created a brand and created a brand about around the alcohol that made that money. So again, is the brand. I've learned that the brand is the brand that sells and makes the money. It's not people who actually touch the cannabis and all that. So I've learned I learned all that and said, nah, I'm gonna make my money differently. I'm not gonna make my money touching it. I have no look. I don't want. I'm not gonna be sitting down in my house. The next thing I'm here, and then knock on my door, and an FBI agent or DOJ agent busting my door, telling me I'm selling illegal weed in my dispensary. No, I'm not doing all that. I don't want to do that. I don't want anybody to tell me I go to a bank and tell me my money's not good because it's from a federally illegal product. No, and you can't take it out of state. You can't cross state line. So no. So there's too many restrictions on it. So rather I'll do the ones that there's no restriction. I'd rather provide the services. And
Okay,
there's no
yeah, man. We
restriction.
got a question in the chat, and then I pulled it up on the screen. So the question is, man, what about Virginia?
Stupid too.
Crazy. I just pulled it
There's
up, man. It's a non-refundable app fee of 10,000.
10,000.
Non-refundable.
Non-refundable. So you gonna cough out 10,000 first. I'm like, no.
And
And
then
Virginia, and
then
Virginia,
an
go ahead.
initial permanent fee, man, for 60,000. Permanent, man, for 60,000. So that's 70,000 right there.
You've done 70,000 and you've not done your overhead, you've not done anything yet. Then Virginia is not a cheap place, believe me. It depends on where you are in Virginia. If you want to open a dispensary, maybe Fairfax or somewhere in Virginia, it's going to cost you. It's not cheap. So overhead expensive, licensing expensive, everything expensive, and you gonna tell me that you'll touch the plant? No, I I'll provide. I'll rather go stop making paper and sell you the rolls for the. We'll make paper for the pre rolls that touch the plant. No, there are better ways to make money in the industry. Way better. That don't give you that much headache. To touch the plant, there's a lot of stuff dealing with the laws. A lot of laws you got to follow. A lot of laws just to keep the plant in you. And you got to be tracked. You got to be traced. You got to have security. No. And if anything gets missing, you got to report that. Anything gets missing, you got to report. And you got a timeline to report that.
Right.
Oh no. I read the laws. I'm like, no. No, the laws ain't favoring me.
So they got strict laws in Virginia.
They got strict laws everywhere. Stupid laws. That's
Man,
why I
it's
said
not
if
that
you
strict in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma different.
Man, why we so different?
Apparently, your state laws and the state they like people like okay, let's make some money.
Yeah, that's what that is, man. They trying to
That's
build it
it. They
up.
want me, but I promise you, this is what's going to happen. Once it gets saturated and everything, they're gonna start. Okay, we're gonna increase all this license. We're gonna make more money. They're gonna copy other states like we're gonna increase their licensing, all that and all that. Make the laws restriction. Now people gonna come in and say we need to be greedy. We're gonna make more restrictive laws so we can have most dispensaries shut down. I know how this goes. It's not. It's a very touching the plant is a very risky business, and I applaud you for doing it. I will never do it. I won't do it at all. I applaud you for doing it, but open a dispensary, nah. Oklahoma different, but look at all the states. You're
It's
not gonna see.
crazy.
You're not gonna see me go try that in other states. I rather sit down and provide. You call me, I tell you, okay, this is what you need to do. This is cut my check, and I go home. I tell you, this is how you do it. This is the tech you need. This is cut my check. I go home. Tell you to go. Then you want me to go touch the plant? No. You want me to go cultivate? No. No, sorry. you want me? You want me? I was always designed that because at first I was thinking of doing the processing because I was trying to design the whole processing plant, design the whole processing equipment. I was ready to design it. And I said, why am I killing myself? I'm not touching this plant. No, I'll go the other way and provide tech for the other services, from automation to different ways, blockchain, anything. I'll go to the federal government when it becomes legal and propose a contract that say I'm going to design a federal how to do a register, how to basically monitor the cannabis coming from state to state. I'll do the tech for you. Come in my check. Man, propose different ways to basically. How do you know, man? How do you know the cannabis is affecting positively the black neighborhood? I got some suggestions. I just need some money to do some studies. Throw me some
Right,
cash, and I already know what to. Man, what?
right.
No,
Yeah, you got
I
to come
already.
in with a plan, right?
You gotta come in and plan. I already know some studies. I have some ways to get the studies done to know the positive or negative effect of cannabis in the black community or any community. I just need this money to do the studies. I need some this. I'm ready to go. Get that federal government money. Apart from that, I'm not doing anything. There's a lot of money. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made. You just gotta think outside that box. Like think beyond. I'm gonna touch the plant and
Right.
think how am I going to make this money and make it make sense. So no, but
Hey,
hey,
man, I appreciate you stopping by, man. I got a show on Thursday, man. If you want to
yeah,
stop by too,
no
man, I'm
problem,
talking to
man.
Corey Millsap.
Hey, I'm here. I,
Okay.
I deal with tech, I deal with everything, but
Yeah.
good
Nah,
luck.
man, like I really appreciate man, the information, man, that you dropped on the show, man, because I go back and think about it and I'm like, man, he brought up some great points that I never even thought about it like that, because
Yeah,
you could just get so excited just starting a business and not
yeah.
really think about like the long term, like is this
So,
really gonna be profitable?
yeah, so now I always think a lot. I sat down and I did the economic analysis on dispensary. I said the way it's going to be profitable is if you start this, have a franchise, and then a big corporation comes in and says, "Okay, we see your franchise. We love this. We love the products you have. And even if you have your own products, even make more money. Like we love you have your own franchise. We love you have your products. We want to buy it." I say, "Okay, I'll buy it. You buy it from us. You buy it a huge amount, and you basically you sold it. You sold your whole dispensary and your franchise for a huge amount." That's what people are doing right now to make that money. they're growing that franchise, and within the franchise, they're growing their own product. So if, for instance, you have your own dispensary, within my dispensary, I'm selling the B Maze pre roll ups, the B Maze gummy bears, the B Maze stuff, all that. I'm selling it. Now,
Right.
you come in, not only am I selling my product to my own dispensary, but other dispensaries are also buying my product too. So now you say, okay, look, I have my own product line and my own dispensary franchise. So you're gonna buy this two separate, and they're doing making money. So you're gonna get that double payment. So this is how if I was gonna do a franchise, if I was gonna do a dispensary, that was my plan to do it. But I said, nah, this is a problem. I don't want to do regulations and all that. I ain't got that time for that headache. So that was the plan I was trying to do. But I said, I'm not doing that. I'll do the tech. I'm good in tech, and I'm going to use that to do what I need to do best.
Right. Because you're still inside a new industry, but you're still inside your industry
So,
at the end of the
you
day.
at the end of the day, so when at the taxes, I looked at the taxes, were just stupid. And
Ridiculous.
at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah. And someone, when I met the lawyer said, yeah, when you open a tech business, don't open a cannabis tech business. Open an agricultural tech business that services cannabis. Your taxes is not going to be cannabis. So, so that's what I do, agricultural tech, servicing cannabis. So, no. But, hey, Oklahoma good. You're in a good spot. But apart from that, I'm
Yeah.
not telling anyone. I'm sure you must have looked at it and said, let me see if I can open somewhere in like Ohio or Chicago. You saw the
Oh
laws
yeah,
and
the
like, man,
Ohio is crazy. I
yeah, you
showed
saw
that
the.
too.
He said maybe I might open my own in Ohio, another branch. You look at the laws, I'm like, man, this is stupid. No. I'm staying my ass in Oklahoma.
It's crazy, man. In Ohio, man, it's 70,000. It said, man, it says an additional fee of 70,000 will be due.
So you ask yourself, is it worth it? Am I going
Right.
to spend all this money in the dispensary that will be highly regulated? Basically, at the end of the day, you don't have control of it. Who has control of it? The state laws and legislation.
Exactly.
They can put so much laws and taxes on you. At the end of the day, like fuck it, I quit. They can state legislations. They can be wicked and say, "I don't like this dude. This dude has been lipping too much. We're
Yeah.
gonna tax. We're gonna tax his ass out of business. Put taxes on you, regulations. You're gonna have people coming and visiting you every afternoon, trying to see if you're following all the rules and regulations. Man, dude, no,
Exactly.
I'm not in that kind of business. I'm in the business of making profit and making profit in a legal manner and making profit where I'm held captive by all the state laws and legislation because it's a new industry. No. So that's what I'm telling you. Nah, no, you did good, man. I'm not
Yeah,
that
I'm
brave.
still learning it, man, but I'm learning a lot, man, and
You
I
will learn a
appreciate
lot.
you stopping by, man.
You will learn a lot, but I learned a lot. And the first thing I learned is never touch the plant. That's the first rule. That's the number rule. Unless it's not if I'm seeing more black folks going in and money going in, the banking laws are changing, all that. I was okay. Maybe I can go now, but now I'll tell anybody who has don't try it, don't do it, don't do
Right.
it. The license is stupid, the money's stupid,
Oh, I showed the numbers, man. It's crazy. Worldwide.
it's
It ain't even
stupid.
worth it, man.
Don't do it. At the end of the day, you're gonna get headaches. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just find what you're good at and service the industry. Apart from that, don't do
Exactly.
it.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna catch up with you man this week again, man, if you free.
No problem, man.
All right.
All
All right. Thank you. Business Never Done podcast, man. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. If you stop by, and I definitely appreciate the comments, man. If you commented, and we will be back in 2 days. Appreciate you guys.